Today, we're going to talk about my past, present, and future of books. What I've finished, what I'm in the middle of, and what we're going to get into. Okay, so recently I finished the book Play Nice by Rachel Harrison, and it's about a house that's supposedly possessed by a demon. Now, is it really possessed by a demon? Well, you'll have to read the book to find out. And it's quite fantastic. If you're a Rachel Harrison fan, I would definitely recommend it. I flew through the pages. I had to know what was going to happen next. The story follows these three sisters. Their parents had got divorced when they were younger, and they would go and stay with their moms on the weekends. And their mom was also a raging alcoholic and very quick to anger. So the mom claiming that the house was possessed by a demon didn't really sit well with them, and the daughters were really young, so they didn't really have like full memories of exactly what happened. And so the mom passes away, and they find out years later that she had kept this house and still had it, and that they are inheriting it. And the two older ones want nothing to do with it. The younger sister, Cleo, decides, hey, I'm going to go renovate it and fix it up, and then we'll sell it and get it out of our lives forever. And then as Cleo goes and she stays there, weird stuff starts happening, and she just starts to find that maybe their mother wasn't crazy and the house is actually possessed by a demon. It's the story of the dynamics between family and sisters and what actually happened all those years ago when they thought it was something different over what it actually was. And it's weird and paranormal and strange, and it was a great read. Highly entertaining, and if you like Rachel Harrison, I would highly recommend it. So currently, what I'm in the middle of is a book called The October Film Haunt by Michael Wehunt. So this follows the story of this main character, Jory, and she used to have this group that was the October Film Haunt, and her and these two other people would go and they would camp out in these locations where horror movies were filmed, and then they would blog about their experience. They had started to see some success with this, except for the last place that they went in this one location for this movie that was called Proof of Demons. Stuff went horribly wrong. Someone died. There was all this controversy, and it kind of ruined their careers, and so they stopped doing this. It's been 10 years now. Jory has a whole different life. She works in a grocery store. She has a 10-year-old son, and she doesn't even really watch horror movies anymore. So one day, she gets a VHS tape in the mail, and she opens it up. I think it said like funeral watching or something on it. So, she's obviously curious, and she goes and to see if she still has a VHS player lying around somewhere, digs in a closet, finds it, and then pops in the tape. And then she's like, oh, it's a scene from that movie, The Proof of Demons. So, okay, weird. But she sees it's an extended scene. And then if she watches it a bit closer, she realizes this isn't the movie scene. This seems like this is a kind of redone, and they filmed it closer to where I live now, because the original was done in North Carolina. She's now in Vermont, and it seems like, because she recognizes the trees and such, and she lives in a little area that's kind of by the woods, and it seems like whatever was filmed on this tape might be in the area near her. Okay, and there was always all these like rumors and stuff that maybe like that film that they did actually open a portal to hell or whatever, and this, that, and the other. So there's all this weird stuff around it. And that's about as far as I am in so far, and really enjoying it. And we'll see where this one goes. Pretty excited to get back into that one. Okay, so now let me tell you what I'm gonna get into. Okay, so first up, this is an author that I've been curious about for a while, and then someone recommended this one to me, and that is by the author Frederick Bachman. My grandmother asked me to tell you she's sorry. Elsa is 7 years old and different. Her grandmother is 77 years old and crazy, as in standing on the balcony firing paintball guns at men who want to talk about Jesus crazy. She is also Elsa's best and only friend. At night, Elsa takes refuge in her grandmother's stories, in the land of Almost Awake, in the kingdom of Miamas, where everybody is different and nobody needs to be normal. When Elsa's grandmother dies and leaves behind a series of letters apologizing to people she wronged, Elsa's greatest adventure begins. Her grandmother's letters lead her to an apartment building full of drunks, monsters, and attack dogs, and old crones. But also to the truth about fairy tales and kingdoms, and a grandmother like no other. And that sounds quite fascinating. So we'll see how this one goes. Next up, we have Salt Bones by Jennifer Given. This is by the author that wrote River Woman, River Demon, which I do have a standalone review for. If you're interested in that at all, I can put a link to that down below. So I really enjoyed that one, so I definitely wanted to check this one out. Let me tell you what this one is about. Malamar Veracruz has never left the dust-choked town of El Valle. Here, Mal has done her best to build a good life. She's raised 2 children, worked hard, and tried to forget the painful, unexplained disappearance of her sister Elena. But when another local girl goes missing, Mal plunges into a fresh yet familiar nightmare as a desperate Mal hunts for answers. Her search becomes increasingly tangled with inscrutable visions of a horse-headed woman, a legend locals call La Ciguanaba, who Mal feels compelled to follow. Mal's perspective is joined by the voices of her 2 daughters, and the 3 of them must work to uncover the truth about the missing girls in their community before it's too late. And I thought that sounds pretty good, and I cannot wait to read this one. Okay, so what are we most excited to read? I think I'm pretty excited to get back into the October film Haunt, because that one is got me wondering what the heck's gonna happen. Yeah, whole premise, all that with the old VHS tape and the possibility that that new scene, which was an old scene, was like filmed real close to where she lives and did it open a portal to hell? I don't know. We don't know. But we'll find out. And probably have a standalone review for that one coming in the future. So keep an eye out for that. What have been some of your first reads of the year? Any standout ones so far? I know we're only a little bit into the beginning of the new year, but always curious to hear if you've had any really good ones so far. So let me know. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.